Hi friends, welcome to Yoga Alliance RYT 200 hours teachers training program brought to you by N Yoga Dubai. You would be wondering what is that I am going to learn in this course, the for 200 hours. Yes, it's very important for us to know the path that we are going to take and the destination we are going to reach before we set the goal. Yes, we've all set the goal to become certified yoga teachers, to globally recognized through Yoga Alliance. But what is that we are going to take back? What is the takeaway from this course? What is the outcome of this course? We are going to become internationally certified, globally acclaimed, professionally trained yoga teachers. And the uniqueness of this course is going to be that it brings the best of all classical traditions of the yoga land of Bharat, of India, with all modern techniques that we would learn and put it into practice. Like any course, this course will also have two parts. One is the wisdom part or the knowledge part, and second is how we apply this wisdom into the practical aspect. These two are like the two eyes of this yoga course. So first is important to know what we would learn as a wisdom session, as a theoretical part, as a jnana kanda. It's so important to know first and foremost what yoga is and what yoga is not. So the misconceptions, what commonly people have about yoga, and what is the right way of understanding yoga, the classical definitions, the etymology of yoga from various scriptures, from various masters. It's also important to know that even today in the modern times we are practicing yoga, but the ancient lineage of yoga, how old it is. It is so old as the ancient traditions, but even today relevant in the modern times. So it's very important to know the history, the origin and the lineage and the contemporary yoga masters and their teachings, all those we would be learning. And very important to have a kind of a background study in introduction into all the yoga scriptures. It is based on the scriptural reference, the classical text, which gives us the right understanding and application of yoga, friends. And therefore an introduction, a kind of an exposure into the yoga scriptures like the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads, all that we would learn. Of course, these are like an ocean, we would have dip in the waves. And moving ahead, we would also have the study of the essence of the yoga philosophy from the scriptures and a background of all the yoga practices, the theoretical understanding of yoga practices from all the scriptures, what we would learn. And then comes the most important modern study which would support the yoga studies is the study of the anatomy and physiology. Friends, as we all know, in yoga we are dealing with the physical body through the yogasanas and the kriyas. And so it's so important to understand the body as well. Yes, though the yoga scriptural knowledge helps us to have a traditional outlook into the yoga, the body also, but it is important in the context of today's modern understanding or the modern medical understanding. So we have to know the study of the physical structure of the human body, that which is anatomy, and the function of these structural parts, which is the physiology. So anatomy and physiology in context or in relevance to yoga and yoga teaching is one important aspect of the course. And the third important aspect is also allied subjects like introduction into psychology, because yoga is dealing with mind, and various applications of yoga, for example, yoga for kids, yoga for the women's health, yoga for holistic wellness, yoga for sports or for the corporate well-being. All those exposures into various applications of yoga is yet another aspect that we would learn. And finally, the most important part is the teaching methodology. How would we teach? Yes, we have learnt all these aspects, the practical aspects, for example, to say what is all that we would learn in the practice. The first and foremost, the basic breath works, because breath is the bridge between body and mind. So initially we would learn how to breathe properly, the different breathing techniques, what is called the yogic breath works. And then we would go to prepare the body for the yoga postures by doing the the stretches, the warm-ups, the loosening exercises, all those which are the stepping stones for getting into the yogic postures. To go into that perfection, ultimately, we need to prepare the body through all these preparations. And then we would learn the beautiful series of the Surya Namaskara, often referred to as the sun salutations, there are different versions of it. Some of those we would learn to practice along with the vibrant chants. And then comes the series of yogasanas, classified generally as a standing, sitting, prone, supine, or into various series evolved. For example, the Shirshasana series, it could be the Trikonasana series, it could be the Sarvangasana series, it could be like this, from various one posture to different postures, how the asanas would evolve. So we would learn quite a number of asanas, which are the yogic postures that we would be learning. And we would be learning pranayama, the control of the vital life force energy called prana through various techniques. And to practice this pranayama in a better way, the mudras which are involved, and then the bandha, and then we would learn meditation, which is dhyana classically referred as, and relaxation techniques, very important, like yoga nidra, and various other relaxation techniques like the deep relaxation technique would be also taught, and we would practice all those to have wonderful rejuvenation of not just the body but the mind as well. Yoga is not restricted to the body fitness, as we know. It is body, breath, mind management, as I often call it as the BBMM. And so body, breath, mind management is all that through all these techniques ultimately we are learning, and ultimately to tranquilize the mind, the vibrant yogic chants, the mantras, the various sacred chants would also help us in the tranquilization of the mind, the calming down of the mind. And these are some of the wonderful techniques we would learn. And in bonus additional, other than these main core curriculum of the practicum, we would also learn certain bonus, like for example Sanskrit, introduction to Sanskrit alphabets, some spoken Sanskrit, and how can we read and write the yogic terminologies, which is all out of Sanskrit, various vibrant mantras, the chants which add to the techniques like meditation, and also we would learn some yogic songs and all those as a part of our learning, which is a kind of a bonus curriculum what we are learning other than the core yoga practicum. Now that we have learned all this, friends, we have learned the yoga philosophy, we have learned the anatomy and physiology, we have learned all the practical aspects of yoga and the applications of yoga in various contemporary needs today, like for the kids, for the elders, for the women, for the corporates, for the spiritual upliftment, for societal benefits, all that we have learned, for sports, for various things we have learned. Now finally, how do we apply in the teaching? That is where the pedagogy, the teaching methodology of yoga forms a great role. And this is one thing ultimately important for professionally qualified yoga teacher, wherein from expert university professors of yoga, we would be learning how we put all this into the day-to-day practice of yoga by the teaching methodology. So this is the very important thing. So all our yoga knowledge converge here in the teaching methodology, and we become finally properly qualified yoga teachers, my dear friend, with all this wisdom, from all this practical knowledge, from all this expertise, from all this hands-on training that yoga teachers would be giving to you. We have a wonderful panel which have classical spiritual yoga masters, philosophical masters. We have medical doctors to come and teach us the anatomy and physiology, and the application like yoga therapy would also be taught to us. And we have various experts from various walks of life who have benefited from yoga coming and sharing their experience, my dear friends. With all those, this is going to be an excellent experience for us to take this journey ahead. Come, join with us, and let's make this learning a vibrant learning, a wonderful experience, a yogic experience which would take you not just to practice yoga for a few days but for lifetime. Wish you all the best from Yoga. I am going to be with you throughout this course along with Master Narayan and other professors of the course. We would all be taking this journey ahead, my dear friends. All the best.